there have been a lot of Orlando Brown trade rumors kind of floating around with Minnesota last day or two. So I kind of wanted to address it. So with Brown, I did my numbers thing again. If anyone's annoyed by that, I apologize. But Brown, since entering in 2018, has an average PFF grade of 72.0 and has averaged 2 sacks allowed. And the only reason why I bring that up is I wanted to bring what Minnesota's had from tackle play in both Reef and O'Neal since 2018. So Reef is a 72.2 PFF grade with 2 sacks allowed on average. So pretty comparable to Orlando Brown. And then O'Neal, 70.6 average with 1.3 sacks allowed. Although, one alarming thing I found out is O'Neal's penalties have risen every year, going from 4.7 to 8, average of 6.3 there. Reef, 4.3 penalties for Brown, 3.6, so that is the least. So, now we get to actual trade value of a one Orlando Brown. He's played right tackle most of his NFL career. He's played left tackle last year when Stanley got hurt, and in Oklahoma during his collegiate career. Now, he has supposedly a sentimental value to the left tackle position due to his father, Orlando Brown Sr., playing in the NFL, being a left tackle, and from the sounds of it, it's kind of been embedded to his brain that if you're going to play the offensive line, left tackle is the only one worth playing, mainly from his dad. So that's why they're even in the trade conversation with him. He doesn't want to be a right tackle, which Baltimore would use him as, since they just paid Ronnie Stanley a hefty sum to play left. But if you guys ever heard of Baltimore Beatdown, that is like if you've ever heard of the Viking Age website, it's their version of that. They had a fun little trade price. So they want Minnesota to get Orlando Brown and the 27th overall draft pick, their first round pick. Now, in return, they want number 14. It said number 90, but it's number 91, so they would also get 91. And they want Adam Thielen. I'm thinking Brown is realistically worth a 2. And I don't think, and obviously Minnesota doesn't have one, so they have to get creative. And I just went over this, but from a pure production standpoint, Orlando Brown is not moving the needle. That's staying the same. So the asking price to me is a little ridiculous given that. And I think if that's the actual asking price the Ravens gave them, if they were to call them up, be like, hey, how much? And they said that, I think Minnesota would be wiser to just hang up the phone than to continue negotiating. Because Adam Thielen, as it stands right now, is too valuable to the team. He's one of 2 receivers who I can actually see on the roster, who are on the roster right now. You can give me any other name at wide receiver that's currently slated to be on the roster, and if you said they got cut at the end of final cuts, I would not be shocked. So Adam Thielen to me is just way too valuable because they just don't have any depth behind it. So, and I'm just thinking if roles were reversed and O'Neal wanted out, could you imagine Minnesota calling up a team saying, hey, we want to move up 13 spots, get a 3rd round pick, and I guess if you want to just, for the sake of argument and hypotheticals, say Baltimore, also throw in Brandon Williams. They'd probably hang up in your face. To me, that's a little much. And considering that you keep on getting offensive line cuts in free agency due to the cap crunch around the league, due to the cap being at 82.5, which is an 8% decrease from last year, and that it's a pretty decent to good tackle class early on, it seems like that Minnesota would need more incentive to actually make this trade happen. Especially when you say, well, you're at 14, you could draft a tackle at 14. You could also move Ezra Cleveland from right guard back to his natural position of left tackle. You could do that. That is an option. They have an in-house option and a cheaper option in the draft pick as well. Because keep in mind, part of this is Orlando Brown wants to get paid right now. He wants money. He wants a contract extension. That's supposed to be part of this trade. So I don't know is he looking for top tackle money? Is he wanting top 5, top 10? Does he want to be number 1? I don't know. But I think they need more incentive, especially since he's not really a good scheme fit either. Like he doesn't fit it at all. You question whether or not he can make just normal blocks in the wide zone. The only way a trade for him would make sense is if they want to be more multiple up front, pass a little more, do a little bit more drop back passing. So maybe they don't care as much as scheme fit or not scheme fit, more of like, can you hold up with an anchor and pass protection, which we know Orlando Brown can with his massive frame. But I made a little bit of a revised trade. One that Baltimore probably rejects pretty quickly, but a revised trade that I feel like is a tad bit more balanced. So instead of Adam Thielen, I'm giving them Anthony Barr. And I know that one might tick some people off, probably in both worlds where Raven fans may find this video, and there are some Viking fans who really want to keep Barr, I've seen. But I'm just going off of the logic that basically trading for Orlando Brown means that they would essentially be saying that, well, Minnesota would, that they are valuing the offense just a little bit more than defense, which is kind of rare, especially in a Mike Zimmer-led team where they're more concerned about scoring points and probably just getting to a defense to a point where it's a situationally good defense. It's good in red zone, it's good on third down, and you can get to the quarterback. So Anthony Barr could become expendable in favor of what they could view as a potential long-term left tackle. And, not to mention, since it is the last year of his rookie deal, I believe it's $3.6 million against the cap for Orlando Brown. For this first year, you could still potentially go out to sign a pass rusher in free agency to help get the quarterback to kind of go in with all that. So yeah, you could potentially do that. But, so I'm going to give them Barr, and the reason why I'm giving them Barr, at least on the Baltimore side, they do have Ngakoue. I think we all know him. Ngakoue. They also have Pernell McPhee, Matthew Judon, all hitting the free agent market. So we all know in Minnesota, he does not rush the passer enough. I feel like when we've seen it, it's actually pretty good. He has good burst off the edge, and he's really hard to contain on passing downs. And I think they could potentially use somebody next to Patrick Queen in the middle of the defense. So he could potentially kind of play a pretty versatile role in Baltimore, where he could kind of flip between edge and inside linebacker for them. They can still get number 14. I'm still okay with a switch of first round draft picks. I'm okay with that part of 14 to 27. Now, I am giving them 91 or 79. And I say either one of those because it would probably be 79, but obviously if you could get 91, that would be. But probably 79. And I want number 58. This is where I think the biggest hard pass from the Baltimore Ravens come in, because it's like, why would we give you a 2? And it's like, well, once again, we can draft a tackle at 14. We can move Ezra to left tackle if we wanted to. He played left tackle. We just spent a second-round draft pick on the kid. He can move over to left tackle, where he's more natural. So, do I think that the Ravens would take that trade? Probably not. But I do view that more balanced than us getting Orlando Brown, dropping 13 spots. We give up 14, Adam Thielen, and 91. I think this is more balanced, at the very least. I would like to know what you guys think down below. Liking, subscribing, super helpful. And until next time, I bid y'all adieu.